Hello and welcome back. Yes, I'm Kaz Martell, and this is Kerbal Space Program at the 224 point something update. Crap, I should have probably looked at that before getting in here. Anyway, yeah, so last time we launched a rocket, and that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, as you can see here, the altitude record contract, turns out if I had accepted that at the time, I would have gotten some extra money. Because, well, the game recognized that I got that far anyway, so it's like, hey, set a new record. So that's something we gotta work towards. Now, these missions, 3 that we already have, none of them actually expire. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept all of them. See if that actually works. Cool. And as you can see, that's, wow, holy crap, that's giving us a lot of money. And then we have these. These are new. These ones, we have 1 year to complete them. And I'm assuming that it's after 1 year, if we don't complete it, that it is considered a failure. So I might as well accept all these as well, which we have testing the parachute, the Mark 16. I think that's the one that we just used. So, you know, honestly, that'll be simple. We do have to reach decently high altitude, but honestly, we hit that last time, so we don't even need to make any modifications. This is gonna be new because we're testing a solid rocket booster, which solid rockets operate a little differently than liquid rockets in that once they turn on, they don't turn off until they're empty. You can't adjust the fuel flow or anything like that. It's just, it's on and it goes. They're pretty powerful. I didn't use them a whole lot back when I played before, but they definitely have their uses, so, you know, there's that. And then there's this. This one actually gives us a couple science points. This is just testing the stack decoupler. So, I think this just means I have to reach that altitude and that speed. I'm not sure exactly, though, if I have to like be at that speed and altitude before I test it. I guess we'll find out. But we're gonna go ahead and accept all these as well, just because they do expire after a couple days if I don't grab them now. And, you know, it's research and reputation. And it makes Gene very happy. So, we're gonna go with that. And that's all of the missions active. So let's go to the, right, that's worth mentioning. I decided on this one. General Rocketry gives us more engines, more fuel, and more ambitious ideas. This LV-T45 liquid fuel engine, I have almost never used that. In my experience of playing, because it's not as powerful as the other one. It's more expensive unless they changed that, and the only benefit to it is that it's got a gimbaling engine, which means that it can adjust your flight vectoring, which is definitely useful, especially at this early time when we don't have any good stability parts and whatnot. But that's really more for getting into orbit, which we're not going to attempt yet. And by the time we are going to get into orbit, we might even have everything we need. So, we'll see. These things, you know, I never used them much before, but I was watching some videos where they use them to thrust the spent rocket bits away. And it actually looks pretty cool, so I might end up using those. And then this big solid fuel booster, you're gonna see that one eventually, because I do enjoy using the solid rocket boosters when possible. And that opened up a couple more avenues of stuff to get. So yeah, we got some stuff to look forward to. Okay, so let's go back here. Oh, autosave. So we got the Owl Mark 1 still in here. We have our new parts available, but we want to test that. So, let's see here. Is that... Yep, that's the Mark 16. So we're going to test that. We're going to get to an orbit, height of 22,000 kilometers. We're going to test that. We're going to test this at least twice because of what I have in mind here. Wait, yeah. And what was our other contract? Test that, and parachute, solid fuel. Okay, yeah, so should be pretty simple. We might even achieve an altitude of 22,000 meters, which would be pretty cool. I don't think we're gonna reach space, but we might. No, I'm not gonna tease you guys. We're probably not. Launch new vessel. Yeah, we did that. So let's discard that message, which that's what this thing is. It's a message board. And there we go. A 3-stage rocket, which we will affectionately call the Owl Mark II. Okay. It's a little more expensive, but not a whole heck of a lot. So let's get into the launch pad. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so we have all of our different tests here. We are on Kerbin on all of them, which is the demand. So, let's do this. Into space! Oh, activate the SAS. It might not be necessary since we don't have any really external parts to throw off our ascent, but it's worth throwing on there just in case. So yep, we tested the RT-10 solid fuel booster. And we're gonna find out in a second here if that is a necessity. We hit that speed. Okay. Going up. Right. Top that. We've hit that. Okay. So now all. That is a problem, actually. Oh. So it has to be tested within those parameters. Not a fan of that. But hey, we're possibly going into space. So let's take a look at this here. This is what we'll be using for our eventual orbital maneuvers. Oh my, we are definitely going into space. Holy cow. Probably should have made some kind of a turn for the testing purposes. Well, we're definitely escaping the atmosphere. Yep, 70,000 is where you escape the atmosphere. So, here's what's gonna have to happen. Somewhere in between these 2 points. So probably about 15,000 meters. We're going to want to test both of these things. Hopefully, when we get to that point, our speed is going to be something manageable. Gonna have to check that. I don't know. I don't want to risk throwing him out there yet, but let's go ahead and take a crew report. Keep that. I'm nervous about making him jump out here. Normally I would. Fortune does favor the bold. Yes! Okay, he didn't fall off. Keep that data. And then get back on the ship. So, space over Kerbin. Or, Kerbin? Yeah, that's the planet. Pretty sure. Yeah. I guess I could have just done that, but, so, as you can see this time, we're going to come down in the ocean. Definitely. Oh dear. That's going to be tricky to manage. Well, on the plus side, I don't think this flight hinges on these, or rather those don't hinge on the success of this flight. I mean, the flight's going to succeed, no matter what. It's going to be a simple descent, but the problem here is that by the time I reach this altitude, our speed might be too high. I mean, we're already descending at an alarming rate. That might decrease once we start hitting atmosphere, but we'll just have to be proactive, I suppose. Maybe if I turn, give myself a little more wind resistance when we start coming in. Of course, as soon as we actually start hitting the atmosphere, this is going to flip one way or the other. We're back inside flying altitude, technically. Huh, okay. Well, that's nice. We're not going to hit ocean, thanks to the rotation of the planet. So, we're not going to land in the Kerbal Space Center either, but, you know, you can actually see it. Okay, so, very alarming rate of descent at this time. We're not going to die just to fulfill some silly things here. So, yeah, no. We're doing it. It's time. Okay. We should be safe. Sucks for you, debris. The famously, crazily happy Jebediah doesn't care for these shenanigans. Alright, so we have hit our point of no return. So let's time warp so we can just land quickly. Didn't succeed in those, but we did reach the atmosphere and set our altitude. And we definitely tested that, so there we have it. We've landed safe and sound. Completed 3 contracts, and we're gonna go for a little walk, but it sounds like I might have some company showing up, so I'm gonna call the video here. Have a good one, folks. Goodbye.